Hello. Today I am trying a new type of videos. Today we will be checking out r/AskReddit. What is the most ridiculous, fucked up lie your parents told you? Let's begin.
r/AskReddit. What is the most ridiculous, fucked up lie your parents told you? I lived with my grandma until I was 16. My mom is currently telling me that never happened and she never left me with grandma. I guess I imagined my entire childhood. Editing to add, lived with doesn't do it justice. Grandma raised me. I alternated weekends between my mom and dad, but I'm sure her 4 days a month are made up too. Don't give in, even jokingly. It's what she wants. That my siblings and I had a sister named Alice. Apparently she wouldn't stop talking in the car, so they dropped her off on the side of the road. Never spoke on road trips ever again. My dad told me exactly the same thing. He said I had an older sister named Matilda, but she kept screaming in the car, so he dropped her off at the side of the road and left her there. It didn't stop me screaming in the car until one day he actually stopped the car and told me to get out. He only drove 10 meters away, but I never screamed in the car again. My mom would do this in general while we were going places. She would make us 3 kids run behind the car. We lived in the middle of nowhere and she would get mad at us and tell us to get out, and then drive off. We would try to keep up, but she was obviously gone. She'd go a few concession roads away and wait at a stop sign. We would be so glad to get in the car that we stayed quiet and didn't say a word the whole way home. Around the time Toy Story first came out, my dad drove an Infinity and he told us that he could press a button and go to infinity and beyond to jump over other cars. He'd have us close our eyes and press the button and he'd speed up and pass the car in front of us while our eyes were closed. As a kid I was dumbfounded and thought he was magic. It's actually a nice memory compared to the other ones on here lol. My dad told us, my brother and I, that he could tell what card we were holding just by looking at the back of it. So we would hold up a card from the deck, we would hide it from him, we got creative, trying to trick him, and he would still be able to tell us which card it was. I remember spending hours with my brother and a magnifier trying to figure out how he could tell which card we were holding up. In my 30s my mother finally admitted that she was always standing behind us and telling him. We had no idea she would betray us. It's one of the good memories of him, thankfully. There's a lot of bad ones, but that one always makes me smile. Not too fucked up, but ridiculous. When I was little, my mom told me if I didn't finish my dinner my stomach would get very hungry and come up and eat my brain. A few nights later I woke her up at midnight crying because my stomach growled and I needed a second dinner or it would eat my brain. I love how this plan horribly backfired on her lol. You just gave me a really weird flashback to when I was a kid and I had to have my kidney taken out because it was obstructed and was making me ill. I couldn't have solid food for a few days after the surgery, so my parents bought a bunch of supermarket ready meals. I even remember the brand. It was Blue Parrot Cafe, and ran them through the blender into a paste for me to eat. Problem was, I really liked it, so I would keep asking for these blitzed ready meals for months afterwards. They eventually made them a treat, so if I was good, I could have the food paste for TXD. Oh, this is so precious. Gotta love how kids can develop a taste for strange things. When I was a kid my father told me about the can. He said it contained a family secret of incredible value, and that when I turned 18 I could see it. On my 18th birthday I asked my father about the can. He said, "The fuck is the can?" And after I reminded him of it, he burst out laughing, saying that he was fucking with me. For almost a decade I believed that I would be privy to some cosmic secret on my 18th birthday. Turns out I'm just very impressionable. Show us the can. That if I didn't brush my teeth, tiny teeth goblins would sneak into my room at night and pull out my teeth while I slept. I was genuinely afraid of the teeth goblins. Did you believe in the tooth fairy? If so, how did you feel about it? I didn't have a problem with the tooth fairy because at least she paid me for my teeth and didn't yank them out herself. Well, now I'm going to go write a movie about the ongoing battles of teeth goblins and the League of Tooth Fairies. If I acted up my mom would say she was sending me to the hospital to be put down. It really fucked me up. She even drove a sobbing puking me to the hospital to be put down one day. She said she would give me a second chance and didn't take me in. So sorry. My mom did almost the same thing to my sister and I throughout our whole childhood and into the teen years. She would drive us to random huge nondescript buildings, screaming the whole time, claiming that it was the orphanage and that she was getting rid of us. Sometimes she would get out and physically pull our arms, trying to rip us out of the car. If she was near the police station, she would try it there too, telling us we were horrible kids and that the cops would understand and take us away from her. Which was super bold to me. It's a shame she never got caught in the act abusing her kids. When I was younger, I learned that mushrooms were a fungus and refused to eat them. My dad made me some soup with mushrooms in it and I threw a fit about eating it, so he inspected the bowl and told me they were whale toes. Apparently I was old enough to know that mushrooms were a fungus but not old enough to know that whales didn't have feet. But you would rather eat whale toes rather than mushrooms? Lol. My dad points that out every time there's a mushroom, but listen, I didn't know the parts of any fish I ate. I didn't know which part of the cow, pig, or bird I was eating at any given time. I had no reason to think any kind of meat would be from anywhere gross, and animals get dirty but they gotta clean them before they become dinner, so it's fine. But mushrooms? Fungus? That grows on rotting logs and dirty showers. Little me found that intolerable. When my dad wanted me to stop bothering him, he would send me on aimless errands. Go to the shed and get me the chain stretcher. I'd be looking for hours. I go to a tech school, so whenever one of the freshmen starts annoying the teacher, he just sends them to other shops for tools, resources that don't exist. Blinker fluid, wire stretchers, and lefty screwdrivers are probably my favorites personally. It's not that fucked up, but it's kind of a revenge story. When I was very young, my parents told me I couldn't get carbonated soft drinks cause they said it was bad for me and I could die. Mind you, I was an hyperactive kid at the time. At one point I got a genius idea. I lived with my mother and my father would pick me up every weekends. My plan was Friday evening when my father would pick me up, I would tell him, "Mom gave me Coca-Cola cause she said it's okay, you're going to your father's anyway," and at this moment my father accepted the fake challenge I have given him. The next Sunday evening my father gave me like a 1L of 7-Up just before dropping me off. So I was pretty excited. My mother asked me like, "What's up with you?" And I told her pretty much the same thing. Dad gave me 7-Up cause he said it's okay, you're going to your mother afterward anyway, and then my mom took on the challenge too. They never spoke about it out loud, it was kind of a war and I was the instruments. What they didn't know was that I was the evil mind behind it all. So all in all, I got my revenge. I got carbonated soft drinks and they never learned the truth until I told them years later. Holy fuck, this is some mastermind shit.
Hello, seems you made it to the end. Thanks for watching. This is a new type of videos I plan on doing. Really hope you liked it.